And we're live. This is the Jim Masters Show Entertainment Lifestyle Celebrity Talk Show Series. Welcome to the show, everybody. It's good to see all your smiley faces. Hope you guys are doing well. If you're not smiling, stick around. We're going to put some smiles on your faces with our extraordinary guest, playwright, producer, lyricist extraordinaire, and composer, Sharon Barnett, joining us from New York, from Westchester County. Matter of fact, the home to where the Dick Van Dyke Show was supposed to be, fictitiously created. Of course, New Rochelle, New York, home to the legendary comedian and television producer, Carl Reiner. It's where Rob Reiner grew up as well. And we're so excited to have Sharon on the show. There's an exciting show coming up that we're going to be talking about at 54 Below, which is in New York City, and SAMMY'S Bowery Follies, which is patterned after this incredible, legendary place in New York City. She's got a lot of cool things that are happening. She's all excited. She also works in real estate too. So she's very, very busy. She works with her daughter in real estate as much as she has her hands in the theater and arts and entertainment world. We're so excited to have her here. So are you having a good day? It was extremely busy for me. I had a multitude of radio shows, and then we've got a TV shoot coming up on Saturday that we're formatting and writing scripts for and getting ready for, with a guest that's flying in to the East Coast from the Midwest. So we're getting ready for this big television news shoot that's happening early Saturday morning for me. And then we've got some other production that we've got to do tomorrow, and then headed into Manhattan for a big event tomorrow into the city. This really cool event called the Inner Circle, where all the fellow media colleagues, broadcast colleagues, and a good deal of the politicians in New York City come together, and they put on this really cool show where they sort of poke fun at the politicians, and it's really fun. And all the media reporters and anchors and sports people and all dress up in different characters. It's just really a fun thing. I've gone multiple times with colleagues in New York City. So we're headed there tomorrow as well. So we've got a lot going on. A whole host of extraordinary shows that are coming up. Saturday, Tommy James, the legendary Tommy James, is going to be here. Of course, the legendary Tommy James from the Shondells, Tommy James and the Shondells. We've got a very epic show in store for you on Saturday as well. And then we have the songwriting duo of Alan Schmuckler and Michael Mahler, a brilliant songwriting duo who are involved in the musical version of An American Tale, which of course was the very popular movie. And we're going to talk about that. That's on Sunday. And just a bevy of guests. We are booking into June, and it's only April. And we're coming up on our 3-year anniversary soon as well, which is kind of cool. And we're into hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of shows. If this is your first time watching, I'm your host, Jim Masters. I work in television, radio, stage, and film professionally. I have for a good number of years, nationally and regionally, locally as well. And we started this series as a way to connect with everybody, bring some entertainment, some smiles, some information, some levity, bring us all together. Our audience watches live. They comment during the show. And we do this like an entertainment lifestyle celebrity talk show series that you may recall, like Merv Griffin and Mike Douglas and Dick Clark, Dick Cavett, Johnny Carson, and all the legends, with a modern twist and a modern vibe thrown in of today. We have done, again, we're approaching almost 1,000 episodes of this series, which I still can't believe, in under 3 years. We're coming up in a couple of weeks on our 3rd year anniversary. Wow. And thanks to all of you for watching, supporting, sharing. There are those of you who watch, you never miss an episode. You're always here with us, and we know who you are, and we thank you very much. Some of you are very vocal. You comment during the show. Others, you might watch quietly, and then you'll send us a note via social media. I'm on social media, Jim Masters TV, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And of course, all the episodes, including this one, are archived on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Now, if you want to participate and you want to comment while the show is on live, subscribe to our YouTube channel, which costs nothing. It's Jim Masters TV. And we've got a bonus here for the subscribers. And again, it costs nothing to do that. You can comment right now in our JMS Lovity Hall chat room. We've got a chat room that actually operates when the shows are on, when they're airing. So you can say hello to one another. You can say hello to us. And we might even, if we have time, sprinkle a comment or two on the actual screen while the show is happening. With our viewers who watch from around the world, we have thousands of viewers who watch this show, this series, and have been with us since day one. And we thank every single one of you. So that's a little bit about what our show is about, in case, every once in a while I remind everybody what we're doing here. Or there's a lot of new folks who tune in who are figuring out, what is this show about? And again, our guests come from all different backgrounds: Hollywood, Broadway, television, film, music, stage, culinary arts, sports, comedy, inspiration, health and wellness, science, nature, everything, just like a talk show would. And we don't really call these interviews, we call them conversations, because I think when it's a conversation, it's a lot more warmer, deeper, and richer an experience for everybody, for you, the viewer, for me, the host and producer, for our guest as well. So with all of that said, thanks for being with us. We really appreciate it. And I hope your day is going well, and hope you're having a good spring. It is spring around here at this time of year. Although for those that are watching down under, I believe it's you're entering fall, or you're in fall. But wherever you're watching, we thank you for being here. Sharon is in the house, as I meant, well, her house in New York, in Westchester. And there's this really cool show, Sammy's Bowery Follies. And it really, we've got some cool photos here. These really go back to the actual place that we're talking about in New York City. I want to tell you a little bit about, we'll tell you first about the show. Sammy's Bowery Follies is an original musical created by Sharon Barnett. The book, the lyrics, and the music. Adam Shorten as well involved. And also Michael McFrederick music. It's a fictitious account of life at a New York City renowned nightclub, Sammy's Bowery Follies. And it really is incredible. A young soldier just back from fighting World War II seeks fame, fortune, and love at the gay 90s nightclub, Sammy's Bowery Follies. Now, in addition to this, she also is involved in another original musical called Socks that began its theatrical journey back in 2007, followed by all the Broadway star readings at Sage and York Theaters in New York. And Socks is a frolicking new musical comedy that answers the age-old question of what happens to socks? What happens to socks after they disappear from the dryer? It's one of those fantastic sort of things that we think about, We're going to talk about all of that, and a little bit about Sharon. She herself, again, is an extraordinary. The picture you're looking at is actually one from from Sammy's. But let me tell you a bit about our very special guest, Sharon, joining us here on the show. She loves what she does. She's been doing this for quite some time. Book writer, lyricist, composer, producer, performer with a lifetime of experience. She grew up singing with her sister in the nightclub, Sammy's Bowery Follies in New York City. And for theater, she produced the musical Sammy's Bowery Follies and Socks. On television, she produced the Broadway cable show, Personality Profiles, and lots more. It is my pleasure to welcome her from New York here on the Jim Masters Show for the first time, and definitely not the last. The one and only Sharon Barnett is here. Sharon, welcome to the show. It's great to have you with us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for everything so far.
Thank you for everything so far. So we're off to a good start.
Yes, we
check that box. Intro done. Fill in the blank.
We did it.
Yeah, we did it. Yes, high five. There we go. So how are you? How are things in the land of Carl Reiner and Dick Van Dyke, where you are there in beautiful New Rochelle?
It's lovely. I was a city girl who wound up in suburbia.
Yes, that's a natural transition a lot, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, my father too. My father originally from New York, from Astoria, and then he went to Connecticut where he met my mother, and then his job took him back to New York, and then they built a house out east on Long Island where we were raised. So sort of like a full circle type. And now they're all in Florida.
Oh, they went
Yeah.
south.
Sunny Florida. Yeah.
No, oh, when I first moved to Westchester, I didn't know what to do. I didn't drive. Had to learn to drive, which was learning a language for me.
Yeah.
And I went crazy, but I learned. I really learned, because if I didn't, I would have moved right back to the city.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was challenging, and I did stand-up comedy actually in the clubs, and my act was based on being a suburban housewife.
Mm.
You know, it was everything I found humor in. Going to the grocery store, PTA,
Yes.
whatever it was. Yes.
You know,
And
it's kind of almost like the Neil Simon, Norman Lear way of thinking, right? You know, you talk about these great iconic television series and movies and shows where, you know, like The Odd Couple or The Out of Towners, where they're talking, or The Prisoner of Second Avenue, where they're based on everyday idiosyncrasies of life. I absolutely love humor like that. That's observational about the craziness of life.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
And, you know, all of a sudden I was looking at everything in a different way, and laughing to myself.
Well, it can be crazy, right? When you think about it.
Yeah,
Yeah. The
everything.
thing, the
Yep.
things we get hung up on, the, you know, the basic things of life that we all get hung up on. And when you realize that it's not as dramatic as you think it is, like with socks, I mean, a whole thing about the socks disappearing on the dryer, that
Yes.
really is, that is still a mystery. Before we talk about, you know, Sammy's, I'd love to talk about that, because that is so, to do something that really highlights something that we all deal with in our lives. From your research in putting that together, have you found anything? Is there any special announcement you can make to the world right now as far as what really happens to that second
Yes.
sock
Yes.
that goes missing?
Yes. 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 The truth is, the socks want to get away from the feet. And so they escape through the hose, and you never see it again.
Sometimes that happens in relationships too.
And
And then you've been hosed.
you've been hosed, yes. So all you come up with is lint.
That's right. We're not talking lint
They're
truffles
part of
either. Different spelling. Right.
yes.
So it's the one that, well, you know, if you think about it, that does make sense, because if you're on somebody's feet all day long, and if they
Mhm.
play sports on top of it,
Not
or they
pleasant
stand for a living,
now.
you're going to
No.
want to take off.
Right. If you take off, you don't like bunions, corns, you know.
So tell us about that. Before we talk about Sammy's, tell us about socks, and what was it your experience in dealing with this
Yes. Yes.
dilemma with the dryer?
Yes.
You know, even if you write to the manufacturer of the dryer, they will never have an answer for
No,
you.
no. What happened was, actually I wrote Sammy's, and I started working with Michael McFrederick, who 3 years ago has passed,
Yeah,
and which was a heartache for me. Um,
too early. Yeah.
and prior, he worked with me on Sammy's. I came to him. I'll tell you this story. It was very strange. I never wrote music or anything in my life. And one day somebody said to me, "You can write music." And I said, "I could." And I went home. It was a matter of somebody telling you could do something. Oddly enough, you can. So I
Yes.
went home and I started hearing music, and I started recording the music. So I recorded the music, and there was one particular song, and I belonged to TRU. I don't know if you know of True.
Sure. Oh, yes. Yeah.
True was having a benefit, and they said, "New songwriters, submit your music." I
Mhm.
submit my music. Sure enough, It was called "Did You Hear the Applause Tonight?" The song. I get a call, and they said, "We love this song. It's going to be the last song of the night." I said, "Oh my God." So I submit my song. I go to see it being rehearsed. Now, as a new writer, this was phenomenal. So I go, and Mike McFrederick is playing my song. And
Wow.
I said, "Who are you? And who are you? Are you Sondheim? I mean, what is your stealio? How did you?" And I said, "I don't know. I just hear music." So I said to him, "Could you get music down?" And he said, "Yeah, I do that." So that's how we became partners.
Wow.
And so we worked on Sammy's. And then he said to me, "We need to do another musical. We need to do something that would intrigue adults and children. Come up with something."
Great
So I said,
idea.
"Okay, I'll think, I'll think." And I was doing my laundry, and I lost my,
You lost a sock?
and I called, I got it.
What
I
kind
got
of
it.
sock was it? Everybody wants to know what kind of sock was it? Was it cashmere? Was it cotton?
Well, in the show, there's Cashmere. She's the lead.
Yes,
But in this particular case, it was just a Bobby sock.
a
It was
bobby
one of
sock.
my kids' socks for Jim. So I was like, "Where's the sock?" And "Oh my God, Mike, that's it. That's our next show." And he said, "Okay, so where do they go?" And I said, "I don't know. We'll have to figure that out." And for 5 years,
5
every week, I would drive to his apartment and walk up his 10 flights of stairs and work on socks. And I truly thought that one of the days they would come with a net and take us away because we were crazy
Sock
writing
it to
this.
me.
There was yes, actually in the show there's a sock hop.
See?
See, you got it, you get it. And it was a matter of there's a love affair, and there's also, strangely enough, a bad situation that you're
Mm,
stuck in a place you don't want to be.
yeah,
And that's sort of the subtext. Actually, it was very strange when I was writing Socks. My mother was in the hospital,
mm,
and I found that I was writing, unbeknownst to me, about her situation and
yeah.
being or somewhere and having no way of getting out. And it was very bizarre. And one of the songs, strangely, was about "Stay With Me." It was about two socks being parted, but for me personally, it was about me and my mother parting. So we were,
That's yeah. That's isn't it amazing when that sort of you don't go looking for that, that just comes to you in that way? It's quite special, isn't it?
yes, it was. Actually, there's a song in that called "Special." You were on the same.
You're very, yes, intuitive. We
I,
are higher consciousness thinking here. Right,
yeah,
exactly. It
yes,
it, it really sounds amazing. You travel along with quote material girl Cassie Cashmere Sock. I love
yes,
that as she tumbles from the dryer into the dirty, lint-filled world of Sockland, battling to escape through your night with her match, which is so true. She discovers her inner fabric and the true meaning of freedom. I love
yes,
how you use the sock, for that in the metaphorical way, in that way of talking about life and people and how we have those kinds of things happen. What's really amazing too is you ever have where that sock went missing and then all of a sudden, I don't know, a year, 2 years later, suddenly that sock reappears? Have you
yes,
had that happen? Like,
yes.
wait a minute, I don't
What are
understand.
you doing here? I
Good
see.
thing good thing I didn't throw the other one out. I just put it in the drawer. Do you
You
have
have that?
I
Yes,
mean,
of
I have an area where there's just the one sock and they're sitting there waiting, hoping that somehow the other one is gonna materialize.
yes.
check the hoses after we're done with the show. She says, check the hoses. We're going to disconnect the dryer and check the hose. They might all be in there.
They're there, they're waiting.
They're piled up trying to get out. That is funny. But yeah, we have a little collection of nice dress socks and everything else, socks that go with suits and
Yeah.
sports socks and everything. Yeah, you put them in there. And so should we, have you tried washing the socks, just socks, instead of putting them in with the other clothing, where sometimes they do attach to the other clothes or whatever? Sometimes they can end up tucked in a pocket. You ever reach in a pocket and then here comes a sock?
They hang out with the sheets a lot. They feel comfort with the sheets.
The sheets, yes, right. Yeah.
Pillowcases, things like that.
They like to go in, crevices and places that they can hide. That is so funny. So tell us about that. Is that something? Is that out, or where can people see that?
What was happening with socks is I did it a few times, in readings, and basically I said this. I always thought that socks would be a wonderful animated movie.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
And that was really my true goal for socks, because it just lent itself in so many ways, and it had a positive and a psychic who was a sock, and who tells the cashmere she's there because she's there to save them all, and I'm no savior, and so there is a whole thing. There is an old sock who used to be, she's used to be. She's no longer the prima diva that she once was, and no longer desired.
It's really crazy sometimes you find that a sock will run off with another sock.
Well,
totally different. You got that covered too. They run off like, wait a minute, you two you don't fit. You're not the right size. You don't match. You're not even the same style. You've got they sort of mix and match, and isn't that funny?
Yes. They have a sock hop who actually they mix and match. Anything goes there. And there's a stretch and a shrug who are like Laurel and Hardy.
Yeah, right. I love that. Yeah. Now, so how long did it take to put this together? And is it something that will be coming back? You did the readings and all. Is it something that you are working on bringing to the stage or television, web?
I had some interest, actually.
I think it'd be a hit
for Nickelodeon as a TV series. I sent it, and I was gonna, but that, sadly enough, was passed on. So bye-bye. So I don't know. I think I might just bring it back to the stage and play it from there, because it's so fun. It really is. And everything today, I think more than ever, we need vehicles that give us joy. We're so inundated with shootings and stabbings and people,
total reality and in your face and offensive, and it's one of the reasons why I created this show almost 3 years ago. Was I, like you, my day work is really busy, and I could just keep with that and I'm good, but wanted to create something like this to bring us all together and have an exchange of ideas and thoughts and entertainment and love and levity and all these cool things to bring us together. And I'm right there with you. I think we need more of that positive light shining. There is an undercurrent of people, some in my professional work on television, radio, I get a chance to talk to some of them too. There are a lot of people who sort of had enough now of all of that real in your face, super raw, everything has got to be total reality. You can't there's no more daydreaming. There's no more fantasy. You got to have that balance. Your brain wants that balance. It's when you brainstorm and when you daydream and when you fantasize, some of the most incredible things are created as a result of that. And if you shut that all off and everything has to be now and in your face, and you don't have any time to relish and savor and enjoy it, you just got to move on to the next thing. That's not how everything was created to be. As humans, we're not designed. That's why there's so much, anxiety and
Well,
depression, and people are
no,
upset.
right.
They're pushing too hard and too fast. We gotta, once in a while, keep moving forward, but let's enjoy the ride. It's not
No,
necessarily a long ride, so let's enjoy it, right?
no, it's true. And I think that the child in should be alive forever. You should be a child till you're 90 or 100. You shouldn't stop being a child, which today, at by the age of 3, it's over. They have to fear in school. They have to concern themselves. Oh, what's going to happen? What? And it's all negative. And the last few years especially have
Oh,
been
yeah.
negative. And I have grandchildren. I have 5 grandchildren, and they are such joy, such blessings, and they listen to my stuff. They sing my songs, which is quite fascinating. To have a three. I have a 15-year-old, almost 13-year-old, um, a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and an 11-month-old.
Mm,
Which 4 boys, 1 girl. And they're my 3-year-old and my 5-year-old. They sing my songs.
that's fantastic, right?
They sing my songs, and they're so serious. There's one song that sings that "Where did the years go?" and the lyric is, "I want them back." And now a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old singing "Where did the years go" is quite humorous.
Did you wanna, I know you said you're not a singer, you used to do it years ago. Did you wanna sing a little of that for our audience?
Okay, I'll give you a few lines.
I
I,
like
I
the way you
have a
did
friend
that head
Karen that
thing,
says,
like,
"Don't
"Let me
sing
think
up
about
there."
this, Jim."
Where did the years go? I want them back. Where did the years go? Was I in the sack? We were young, wasn't it yesterday? We were babes. When did our youth slip away? And then it goes into, in my scrapbook of memories, there are pictures of former me's. I take a look in that old book, and what do I see? I was a looker, no 2-bit hooker, no, not me. No, no, not me. No, never broken, always smoking, chain smoking me. Do 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 do, and then it goes on.
That bravo. Very
Thank you.
nice, very nice. You didn't think you were gonna sing, but on the spot, you're a trooper.
Oh yeah, you
You are a trooper.
I'm
That
a
is
true.
cool. Yes, you are. That's right. Call of Duty, you're right there, and we appreciate that, and that's cool. That's a great, great song. I'm seeing a
Oh,
lot
thank
of, familiar faces here. We have lots of people watching, they're commenting,
Oh really?
saying hello. Of course, our mutual friend June is here. She's saying hello, and a lot of our
Hello.
Jim Masters Show Levity Squad regulars are here. Susan Corwin is here watching. I know Susan and her husband, the dentist. Know them for a long time. They're wonderful people. Hello, Susan.
Yeah,
And
good friends of
um,
mine.
Susan Black is here as well.
Oh
She's
wow.
thoroughly enjoying it. Yeah, she says, I'm a new viewer and appreciate you, dear Jim. I'm so excited to watch this episode with Sharon. Oh boy, that's great, huh? She is truly phenomenal. I love that.
Wow.
Great comments coming in from again some of our regular viewers and all the rest. And Marcel is here.
My
Marcel
sister.
is, yes, and she says that too. I am her sister, and yeah, got a. There's a bunch of them coming in here as well. And look, Courtney, we are so proud of you, Mom. Isn't that
Oh,
great? Yeah, yeah, you. It goes right here, doesn't it? Boom,
Yeah, that's
boom, boom, boom,
baby.
boom, boom. That's the kind of atmosphere we have here at the Jim Masters Show. We always have a lot of fun, a lot of levity, and sometimes we get into some deep, conversations with our guests from all different backgrounds. But we like to really enjoy ourselves, and that's what it's all about. And life is short and life is precious, and you gotta savor the moments. Now, when you created this, Sammy's Bowery Follies, tell us about this because I mentioned earlier that you sang there, years ago, and this is a very special situation for you personally, right?
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very, I mean, my father died and he wrote music and he was a performer. And for me, I felt he should have been famous and he deserves so much more recognition than he actually got in life.
Tell the audience about your father who might not be familiar with your dad.
Well, my father's name was Mark Barnett. Actually, the character in the show is called Barney Marks, and that
Hmm.
was his stage name. I don't know why he did that, but whatever. And so Barney Marks is the character in the show. And this show somehow allows me to allow my father to live forever.
And that is really beautiful. And tell us about the original Sammy's, what it was like. We're showing a few photos here, some old school stuff that was sent our way, which we appreciate, which is really cool. Um, Tell us about the place and the history of it and an iconic place in New York.
Yes. Okay. Sammy's was unlike any other club. You, they had the Bowery Bums outside the door. They had a little person who worked there as one of the entertainers, and he would greet you as well. They had vaudevillians who, after vaudeville, came to work at this club. And they had my father as the MC who came after World War II to work in this club. And it was very different because people from all over the world, every background came to Sammy's. You could have been the president of the United States sitting there, or a movie star like Rock Hudson, or the Rolling Stones. Who else? Jane Mansfield, Jimmy Durante. I mean, Rex Harrison. Loads and loads and loads of celebrities. But the celebrities sat next to the baker, the banker, the
Yeah.
candle. There was no differentiation between people. Everybody was invited to Sammy's and went to Sammy's. So you could have been someone who was from society, or you could have been somebody who didn't have a pot to piss in. You were at Sammy's, and which made it quite a very kind of really background for me and my sister. My sister and I loved going there because after Sammy's, we would wait for my father basically to finish entertaining. And then at 3, 4 in the morning, we would head on down to Chinatown for dinner.
You
So it was
did,
quite,
huh? Yeah. Yeah. Quite an event, huh?
yes, yes. And we started going there. I was 8 years old when I
Isn't that
started.
amazing?
Mhm.
That really is amazing. And it really is the original music created by you, Adam and Michael involved as well. And it's like
Yes,
this fictitious account of life at the New York City renowned nightclub
right.
and about a young soldier sort of coming back from fighting and surviving World War II and seeking fame, fortune, and love, right?
Yes, yes, yes. So it's a love story. Um, he finds this woman who he follows to Sammy. She drops a paper and he winds up going and following her to Sammy's, and he looks around and what is this place? And he auditions and he gets the job as the MC. And he's there and he thinks, this place is famous. I too will become famous. and it doesn't necessarily mean just because someone is famous, it's going to make you famous. There
Right.
is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't exactly rub off like, here, rub me. You're going to be
Right.
famous.
Right. Not like
You
a
know.
magic genie type thing. You've got
But,
to pay your dues, and you got to have talent, and
mhm,
who you know is very important, but also you can have the who you know, but then once they introduce you to that person, you then have to rise to the occasion and step up, right? Or you
right.
won't last
That's
very
right.
long.
But oddly enough, at Sammy's, the people that work there, they were loved, and they were different from you walk out when they're outside the door.
Yeah.
The entertainers were older, or they were
Yeah.
whatever, but they walked in there. And even, one of the little people, they walked in there. People were applauding them. They
Yeah.
were the stars, and it didn't matter who was in that audience. They
Right.
were the stars in that club, and they mattered. They were important. It was magical, and people just loved them. And there's no club like that today. And then the gray line buses would come with the tourists, and when the tourists would come, they put on the a checkered tablecloths, and when the tourists would leave, they pulled them off, and then they come again and they put them back on, and they'd be part of a nightclub tour with the Copa or the Latin Quarter. And it was fascinating. At the other clubs, they were uptown. They were more aristocratic, fancier. And here it was, they took the ties off, they opened their shirts, they put their feet up, they sang along, they did different things. And people were, it was magical in its own way. And
Yeah.
in this show, I have a magnificent director and musical director who I'm very excited to work with, Micah Young, who has been involved with so many musicals, and toured with first national tour of Fun Home, and my beautiful, wonderful, marvelous director who's been with me for so long, Kimberly Loren Eaton, who she's done so much. She loves to develop new musicals. That's very important to her. And my new musical is getting kind of old and trying to be developed, but she's there right for me. It's always, you know, kind and caring and protective, and also like a cheerleader. Go, we can
Yes.
do this. And
Yes.
I'm so lucky to have her
Isn't that
by my.
incredible? You're really having a support system and having people who believe in what you're
Okay,
saying, what you're doing,
totally.
what you want to create, really is what helps take an initial idea to the next level. Having those people, and I know, like you, working in the television, radio industry, working in these entertainment and news and whatever, you got to have those people around. You can have the ideas and you can have the
No, don't go
vision,
anywhere.
but you really need people to be with you and cheer you on. And also, some do investments financially, things of that nature too, but that's always great and always welcome. But you also have to have people around for the days when things aren't always
Oh, so
going
true.
right.
True.
When you lose the sock in the dryer days, you know what I mean? When stuff just is going south and you're frustrated and you're not happy and you're thinking about giving in and giving up on the dream and on the idea,
Totally.
and you'll have those people who truly care. And sometimes that shakes out too. You'll have all these people around, and then it sort of shakes out, and the ones who are true, tried and true and
Yeah,
real and really care, that's the core of reality,
definitely.
of
Definitely.
those people. Everybody wants to be a part of something when they see
Well,
something exciting and new, but then it all shakes out, and the real people are the ones that are
oh,
there with you.
I have three producers involved as well, who are presenting the show with me, and that's Judith Abrams, who
Oh,
is
sure. Yeah, Judy. Yeah.
she's producing everything,
Yeah.
and also Kira. I don't know if you know them, Kira and Jason Turchin.
I know of them, haven't had the pleasure of meeting them yet.
They are quite a couple. They're phenomenal, and they have this amazing children. Joshua, who is everywhere, and Shayna, who, watch out, she'll be everywhere too. He is an amazing child. I mean, he's 16 and he's in NYU on a scholarship. So
Very cool.
he plays every instrument, he sings, he dances, he acts. I mean, this kid's writing his own musicals. He's involved in California, New York, this thing, that. Amazing.
Hmm.
Amazing. Yeah. So I'm very fortunate to have a really strong and caring group beside me.
How do you balance it all with your day-to-day real estate work? You work with your daughter in real estate. She's immersed in that world. How do you balance all of that?
Well, the real estate, I do not on an everyday basis. Um, I do it when my daughter says, "Come on, can you go? Can you go?
I like that.
Can you
Ma, can you go?
Can
Yeah.
you go and open some doors and see these people?" Yeah, okay. Where? Oh, in about 5 minutes. No, so
I still got to do my hair. What are you talking about? I don't know what color.
What do you mean,
Do I wear the pink or the blue today?
What? You want me to go now? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
the car's idling.
yes, really. Are you kidding?
And I bet you do, don't you? You go.
Oh, I'll do anything for them. I
Sure.
I babysit a lot. It's a big thing. Um I'm very fortunate. I see my grandchildren all the time,
Which is
which is very,
nice.
and
Everybody's within proximity. They're close by
yes, yes,
reasonably. Yeah, that's great.
yes, and
I'm admiring that incredible chandelier you have behind you there. That
oh,
is
thank you.
really nice. Tell us
My
about that. Our viewers do like to look at, it's almost like Edward R.
my
Murrow, person to
house.
person. We're at the
Oh,
home of Sharon Barnett in New Rochelle. Just,
oh,
she lived right around the corner from where Rob and Laura Petrie live from the Dick Van Dyke Show.
yes.
Beautiful, gorgeous
Thank you.
chandelier.
Thank you. That's so kind of you. I said, "Where do I sit? What do I, And unfortunately, I had to use my cell phone, so my
You were,
computer kind of old
yeah.
and kind of worn, and it kept saying I need Chrome, and it said, "Too bad, you're stuck with Safari." So I couldn't use it. You
You
know.
probably were walking by the store window and said, "How much is that chandelier in the window?"
Mhm. Oh, it's pretty old. It's about 35. What is it, 35 years old?
Is it really?
Yes,
Very
yes.
nice.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that is very, very
Let me
nice.
show you my Marilyn Monroe. You
Oh,
know,
you've got a Marilyn Monroe?
I've got a Marilyn Monroe.
Hey, look. Hi, Jim and Sharon. This is Danielle Eaton. This is
Oh,
Kimberly Lauren
oh,
Eaton,
my love.
director of Sammy's Bowery Follies, watching at home with my husband Daniel on his YouTube account. It's been amazing working with Sharon. Welcome to the Jim Masters Show. You're a new Lovity viewer. Subscribe to the channel. We love it. Look at that. Wow. That's the Marilyn Monroe. Tell us about that beautiful art we're looking at.
Well, it's by Bob Mackie. So
That was by
it's kind
Bob
of cool.
Mackie.
Bob
Oh,
Mackie, and I got to meet Bob Mackie, and I said, "I have one of your lithographs," and he said, "Really?" And then I showed him, and he was hugging and kissing me. He was so happy. But
wow.
yeah,
Isn't that incredible?
oh
Wow. Now,
God,
is it a rendition of a design that he did for?
it's Marilyn. It's Marilyn. He did Marilyn, and who else? Diana Ross.
And he did a lot of Carol Burnett
Yeah, oh
on
my
the Carol Burnett
God.
show. And
Oh
God
my
bless her,
God.
90, huh?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
It's amazing, absolutely amazing. So, talent, amazing talent. If you,
absolutely. That is
yes,
nice. I like this. You're taking in on us a little tour of the
my home.
of the compound.
Oh yeah, right. I wish.
Yeah, looks terrific.
Let's see. What do I have to show you
If you're
here?
just tuning in,
Um,
folks, I'm your host, Jim Masters. This is the Jim Masters Show live entertainment, lifestyle, celebrity talk show series. And Sharon Barnett is here. And the reason why she's, going around the home, she's missing a sock and she's looking for it.
that's right.
She's like, where
I
the hell is
finally
that
am.
sock?
I gave up with them. I said, the hell with you. Stay away.
Do you ever do that? You say, the hell, the sock? Like, oh, well, I didn't even like you anyway.
I
And you were
didn't like
starting to,
them.
you had a,
You were
the only
tearing.
Right. The only time that you miss the sock is if like it had a hole in it or something. You're like, well, you had a
Yeah.
hole in it anyway, so I didn't really like you.
I don't need you. You don't need
I
me.
don't need you. Love them and leave them type.
Well, the key is to get two pairs of the same sock because you'll wind up losing two of them. So at least you'll have two more.
I've done that with clothing. I've done it with sweaters and shirts and things like
Mhm.
that, or pants. Like if I really like it and it fits well
Mhm.
and I like the color and I just really like it. And if, it was on sale or something as well on top of it, I'll get another one because you always expect the first one will get an ink stain or spaghetti
Or you,
sauce stain or
yes,
something. You bring it to the dry cleaner and something happens to it, or you got that other one.
yeah, or you have a pair of shoes and you like them, and so you get another pair of the same shoes, or whatever,
But I
you
guess
say,
if you go in your closet and it's been like a year, 2 years, and they say if the tags are still on them,
oh
that
yeah,
might be when you're
but
supposed to, you know, say goodbye, you know, gift
clothes, I
it
don't know what
or
to do with them.
give it to somebody or, or donate. We've actually done a lot of that. They've done a lot of goodwill and donations and all kinds of stuff to help others. But yeah, that's who absolutely loves seeing Marilyn Monroe is somebody who's always here. George Burns is in the house.
Oh,
There he
George
is.
Burns. Ah, ah.
Yeah,
Hello,
he's got it. He's got his cigar and he's got his hanky. And my aunt was a huge collector. One of my mother's sisters, Lillian, in West Hartford, Connecticut. She big collector of dolls, thousands of dollars of dolls,
wow.
and she had a room in the house
Oh,
with all the dolls in it. This George was one of them, and it got passed down to me. And he always pops in, and he got all excited when he saw the Marilyn Monroe because he
oh,
knew Marilyn. They had worked
oh.
together, and
I love
there
Marilyn. Actually,
he sends his
uh,
love from him and Gracie
I
to
wrote
you
a woman show. Thank you,
from
George.
Georgie.
Oh, I did Marilyn Monroe in the club. Don't Tell Mama as Marilyn. So it was
Oh,
fun.
don't
I
tell
wrote
mama. That's a legendary place too.
that.
Yes.
I did
Did you
Marilyn.
have fun doing that?
Yes, I did. I did her as like Elvis is alive. I've had Marilyn is alive and living in suburbia.
I love the whole suburban sort of
Yes, yes.
connection to things because how do you describe, because it's changed a lot. How do you describe suburbia?
Suburbia is the up and New York City. Uh, Basically, it's when I first got here, I was like, oh dear God, what do they have? They have nothing. But now it's changed. There are good restaurants. The cleaners have gotten a little faster. What else? I,
The
you
cleaners
know,
have gone a little faster.
oh, terrible,
Yeah, you
terrible.
go in to bring slacks and it takes 3 weeks to get them back.
Oh God, enough
And then
to
they
move.
hand them to you and it's not even yours, it's the person
Oh
across the
God,
street.
horrible, horrible. I, I was 9 months pregnant and I had very little to wear, and I brought them to the. When will these be back? In 3 weeks. I may have a baby in 3 weeks. I need them tomorrow. Tomorrow, we don't do that. I was learning. It's like, are you kidding me? What? What?
Do you know
What?
who I am?
Do you know?
Right.
You know? You know. I was stunned. I
And
couldn't.
then there's the mall.
The malls, yes,
Wow.
the Westchester, and although after COVID, I stopped going to stores. It's very, very strange. I have everything, delivered and delivered and delivered, and then returned and delivered and returned. It's a continuous battle, but I haven't really gone to stores, and I used to be very big on going to the mall and to shopping centers, and I lived down the block from Lord and Taylor's, and boy, do I miss that Lord and Taylor's. They closed. So that was
That's right. Lord and Taylor did close
mhm.
their doors,
Yeah,
right? Do you
you
remember
know,
S.
the,
Klein's?
I have to
Yeah.
tell you a funny story. My father, in the days when in the day, he worked as Santa Claus in S. Klein's. And
Do you know in the day my father worked in management for S. Klein's?
get out of here.
Are we
That
cousins?
they knew each other, and I worked there. I worked there as
And
his
my mother worked
assistant.
33 years for Estee Lauder in New York.
Oh, so crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, with an S. Klein's too, and it was
Klein's on the square there. Yeah.
yeah. I was literally Santa's daughter. So
So
I
were you able, did you have an in? Was there an in as far as the
present.
gifting and
Well, I'm still waiting for that. No, but actually, actually,
we had the Sears Wish book, remember that?
yes, yes, yes. It was, but when my father worked there, it was he would have these kids come on and they would tell him what he'd want. And a lot of the kids would have lists of gifts that they could never get because they were too poor. So he would go to the management and maybe your father, and give them the list. And the management then would buy the gifts for these kids.
Yes. Yeah.
Lovely.
Really terrific, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. All the
Yeah.
great memories, huh?
Oh yeah, I lived down the block. So for me, my father would be walking with a Santa suit down the street, and they'd say, "Oh, oh," and I'd walk down the street and they go, "There's Santa's daughter." I was horrified, to be. I was like, "No, no, not."
Well, you weren't dressed in any sort of like an elf costume or anything like that, right?
No,
Were you?
no,
Or
no, no.
I
But
actually played what was the friend of mine was performing in the city and she needed a Santa Claus. And I've done a lot of emceeing too at a lot of the places in the city as well, and throughout the tri-state. And she said, "You're the MC of our event, but our Santa Claus is not
no.
available. We have the uniform all in the back there. Jim, can you be the Santa Claus?" So I ended up being the Santa Claus on stage at this concert event, as well as the MC. I would MC and then have to take the Santa Claus costume off and then go in the back after I introduced the act on stage, run back. They'd have to put it back on me, make sure everything was on right, nothing was crooked, the beard was straight, and then go out with the kids. It
Oh,
was really, really cool. I did the Santa Claus, and then I did, boy, I did the Easter Bunny too in the
oh
mall.
my
I
God!
was I was the Easter Bunny.
You got to be all these characters. That's
I mean,
wonderful.
these things aren't on my resume. However, it's all part of being an on-air
Yeah.
host and entertaining,
Mhm.
and
Oh yeah.
right? Put smiles on people's faces.
My mother used to tell me I would go from one job to the next, to the next, to the next. What are you now? What you do?
Do you remember Fuller Brush?
For the brush, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yes, and
Then
the Avon lady used to come to the door. Now
that's
you can't even come to the door. And my mother, out east on Long Island, all the neighbors, when they built the house, when the house was built on the island, the whole neighborhood knew, and the house and the street, everything was new. And they used to have the Tupperware parties. And I
oh yeah.
remember I snuck out of bed because it was a little bit later, and I saw on our patio in the backyard all of the neighborhood women were over, and there was all of these displays of the Tupperware, and they were eating food and appetizers and drinks and talking about all the Tupperware and the newest Tupperware with the resealable
Yeah, oh, yeah.
lid and the
Oh, but
all that.
it's still
And it
going
was
on.
cool to see that. People don't get together like that anymore.
No, no, it's
You don't even know
rare.
who your neighbor is.
No, it was Sebastian Maniscalco, whatever. I never get a name straight.
Oh,
He,
yeah, Maniscalco, the comedian,
that's
he's
it. That's it.
terrific. He's
He has
funny.
his parents, they would have the cake waiting for the neighbor. This one, their friends are coming. Come in, come in. Today, who is that at the door? What do you want? Why are you ringing my bell? It's like we're in a
Yes.
whole different
It's a
world.
whole different world. Yeah, he talks about that, and
Yeah,
I've seen him, on streamed specials and stuff. I'd like to see him in concert, but he talks about that. You're right. He talks about, remember when somebody would knock on the door and
yeah.
at your house, your front door, and everybody would be super excited, and they would jump off the couch. The kids would be maybe in their pajamas, and they would slide to the door, and it was a big thing. We have company. And now, if somebody knocks on your
Now what?
door, everybody's like, duck,
Come
hide
in.
behind the couch. Don't turn the light on. Don't answer the door. Shh, be quiet. And then there was always that cake that
The
was
cake.
that would be reserved, like a bunt
Well,
cake or
well,
something,
my
and
parents,
you would want
my
to eat it, but it was for the
my
company. Whenever the
well,
company,
my
well,
mother would forget the company. My mother would buy spare ribs, and it would be for my dog. And you weren't allowed.
the good
That's
glasses,
not for you. That's for
the
your
good
dog.
sheets, the good sheets. Yeah, the good sheets are for when the relatives and the company stay over. The good dishware. Yeah. It's funny when you think about it, right? It's some of
Yes,
that.
it's not
That
for
was the way it was, and it was tradition, and I thought it was fantastic.
yes, it was. It was nice to have people and
Everything
say,
was an
okay,
occasion, like.
right. Everything was an occasion. Now it's stay away. Don't come here. Don't be this. We've come very, very rude. I don't know why or what happened, but I don't like it.
No, I don't like it either. I mean, I remember they used to have block parties, which was really something fun. And, my mother was a den mother. I was in Cub Scouts. She was a den mother. There was the PTA. There was all these different things and a lot of events and things that went on. And something you said earlier that I agree with, because I've been saying it, everything that's been going on in the last couple of years, even really since 9/11, um, the kids are seeing all of this. They're seeing how the adults are treating each other, how the adults are acting, the things the adults are saying, the horrific, crazy, nutty, offensive things that the adults are doing. And they're watching that, and they're absorbing that, and they're thinking, well, that's must be how you act to get what you want in life. And that's a really bad message. And all of the
Yeah,
violence and the hatred and division, all that stuff that's going on, which I loathe and is not my personality at all. I like to bring people together, not tear them apart. And even if you're extreme and you're extreme and you have this view and you have this view, I'm about, hey, let's all still come over to the barbecue. You bring the potato salad, you bring the corn on the
no, that's
cob,
so much
and
nicer.
let's have fun
Bonding.
together.
Mhm.
Right.
Yes,
And
instead
it
of
doesn't seem to
dividing.
happen that way.
No, you want to be together, I think. And even getting back to Sammy's, that was the key to its success. Sammy Fuchs, he was very wise, and he knew by bringing people together and saying, it doesn't matter who you are, you're welcome.
Right. Exactly. Right. Sammy Fuchs. Yeah, exactly. That's a last name you don't want to foul up on the air.
No. Oh, well,
As an on-air announcer,
maybe, yeah.
host, personality, you want to make sure you always ask I always ask pronunciations of things. Even if I
Oh,
know the pronunciation, I like to hear the guests say
yep, you're
their name
right.
themselves, because just when you think it's this, It turns out to be that.
I am terrible. I'm terrible. I ruin everything. My kids laugh at me, and my father was do the same. So I don't know. It's makes whatever they go. Oh no, ma. That's not. I was telling them a ridiculous story, but I think I'm not going to tell it before
Hey,
people's names. But it's it's just it, I'm very lucky that the people actually that the grandson is coming to the show of
oh, that's fantastic.
yes, and one of the grandson of the drummer, and also a woman who was given away by her mother, who was one of the entertainers, is coming
Oh,
with her
wow.
children, and the one of the and someone else, a woman who was the hat check girl,
Oh,
is
really?
with her daughter and her grandchildren. It's really fascinating. The family is returning.
I would imagine yeah, how do they feel? They must be, it's got to be heartwarming that, you're celebrating the place and telling the story and doing it as somebody who has a connection to it as well.
Yeah, it's there. It was very odd. They found me when I was
They found
putting
you.
ads and things about Sammy's and a while ago, and all of a sudden I would get I maybe Sammy. Hi, I was given up for adoption, and maybe Sammy was my father. So
Wow.
I don't, how do I know? So I contacted her, and she, um, oddly enough, Sammy's son was still living. I don't know if he still is. And he agreed to have a DNA test to do,
Hmm.
right? And so they did it, and Sammy was not her biological father. So then she turns to me and said, well, maybe your father was my father. I said, I don't know. I don't think so. But I'll take the test. My sister said, no way in hell. She's not our sister. You don't need to take that test. So, so we still don't know who her biological father was. But this was a strange story. Her mother was, pretty hefty, and she danced with this little person on stage. Well, an FBI agent or whatever, she got a detective. And the detective, she was about 18, and the detective calls her up and said, I found your mother. And he described her, and he described what she did and who she danced with. And she said, what? Are you crazy? And hung up the phone on this guy and stopped pursuing for a long time. And then she decided to pursue again, and it was too late. Her mother passed. But it was true.
Wow, huh?
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
That's extraordinary. Wow.
Hmm.
Hmm. It's incredible. It's really amazing when you're telling these stories in musical form and song and dance and acting and in performance and these two different unique tales with socks, which is really cool. I can't wait to see that. I know I'm going to be laughing, and
Oh, it's
I might even, if I come to see that, I'm going to deliberately wear two different socks. I think
yeah,
you should you should
peepers.
tell the audience, do some sort of like a promotion or something where you know, not everybody will do it, but maybe something happens if you do or whatever, but come with two mix match socks.
Yes,
And
yes,
everybody proudly lifts the leg and says, look, see, I've got this sock. I got that sock. I can't find the other one.
yes,
And then
yes.
of course, Sammy's, which is something near and dear to your heart. Are you working on other material as well as we speak?
Um, well, I wrote a screenplay, and I wrote a feng shui book.
You did.
Hmm.
Oh, that's cool. Tell us about it.
Well, basically, I was having a lot of hard luck, and I didn't understand, what was going on. Sometimes in life, things happen, and one thing negative after another.
It
Um,
piles on, right.
piles
Yeah.
on. And I said, I need to turn it around. And I read this little pamphlet on feng shui, and I said, hmm, that sounds very interesting to me. So I went and I took classes and I got my feng shui practitioner's license. So I am a feng shui practitioner, and I fell madly in love with it. And I wrote a little book on feng shui, and also I started doing, I don't know, pillar charts and destiny charts and things of that nature, which oddly enough are very true. So I found myself, I like to learn, and I find learning all sorts of things is something that keeps you alive and
Yes.
you enjoying yourself. And, once you stop learning and once you stop doing or pursuing or dreaming, you're in trouble.
Yes, that's right. I was mentioning in the beginning, yeah, the ability to brainstorm and daydream,
Yeah.
fantasize, and create. It's so important. A mind, body, and spirit, as you know, with feng shui, that mind, body, and spirit are connected, and searching for that balance.
Yes.
And I'm a Libra, so we're all about
Oh,
balance and harmony. Yeah. So
yes.
always trying to create that environment for everybody and ourselves. And it's really important, isn't it?
Very, very much. And if you are imbalanced, and oddly enough, we're born uh, with our destiny chart. And with our destiny chart, we have the elements. So we may be missing certain elements in our initial charts. And when you do, you have to put them into your life.
Yes. Yes.
So,
So it's important to be in tune with that and realize what those missing components are, right?
right. Yes.
Uh,
I mean, for me, it was water. And in truth, um, I went and married him. It was very bizarre. You don't know what what you're missing, And I needed. They said, in order, whatever it is, what you should have that as part of your name. What element is missing? There should be a part, or you should go somewhere where you'd find it. Like go to the water, go to this because it was water that I was missing. Drink more water, do things that create water. And unbeknownst to me, I married a man with the name Fisher. So
wow. Yes, right.
yeah,
Yeah.
I had the fish in my name, so I was doing it without knowing.
Which sometimes is the way it works, right?
Yes, yes. So certain colors are more beneficial for you to wear.
The
Um,
color you have on is fantastic. Yes.
I
Yeah.
love pink. It's my favorite. So
What's the actual it was funny because I was in the television studio with some colleagues and somebody had that color on and it looked fantastic and the way the
oh,
cameras in the TV studio were picking it up and I said wow, that hot pink looks fantastic.
yeah,
And then the friend goes, that's not hot pink. They don't say hot pink anymore. It was some other
it-
more dramatic word, but she said, no, it is hot pink. But the other person said, no, it's not hot pink. And they
it's
got into
hot.
a debate. It's hot
It's
pink, right?
well, it's a satin hot pink.
A satin hot pink. That's level two.
That's level.
Is it a blazer?
It's a blazer. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it. It's a blazer. Well, I'm going out of camera, but it's a pretty blazer. Yes. Yeah. So,
Very nice. Very, very
thank
nice.
you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
hot
Yeah,
pink.
hot pink.
Yeah, a couple of people asking about the book, and can you give us a tip on feng shui? Is there something you could share maybe with our Jim Masters Show Levity viewers that they can apply to their lives even today?
What? Okay. Basically, I'll tell you what to do. Um, okay, every color has a meaning, and the color that gives you the most, it gives you love, happiness. health and wealth is purple. So always have something of purple in your person. It is the best tip I could possibly give anyone. Wear purple, and purple, if you know, and purple and green are for health.
Green is my favorite color.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's my
And if you
favorite color.
the royals always have purple and green.
Yes, right. They
Yes.
do. Yeah.
And red is power. For career, it's black and blue. So if you're concerned with your career, wear black and blue, and keep something in the north for success. Have a fish tank or whatever in the north. In the east is basically have a lot of green, have a lot of purple in the in. If you want your career, you want romance, have a lot of pink, red, purple, and also orange. And for security, have brown and yellow, and white and gold and silver give you creativity. And also, it's good when you're around children.
I think you just described the Jim Masters Show set.
Yes,
All the different
it all, have
key
it all.
colors that
Yes,
just
yes.
came naturally when designing this studio atmosphere
And
here. And yeah,
on balance, and there you go. You balanced your colors.
balanced it all out exactly right. No one is too jarring. Everything's playing off each other, bold, but yet still within some sort of a realm of complementing one another. And that's the way life should be with everybody, right? In the
Definitely.
realm of, unique but complementing
Yeah.
everybody, which I think is fantastic. Why do you love doing this? What is it about this that
I,
you love?
I just feel that everybody could improve their life.
Yeah.
And every day when you get up, be the best person you could be. Look
Yeah.
the best that you can. Feel the best. And by using these few little tricks, it will help you. It will make you feel better. It will give you a head start on your day. And
Yes.
that's really important. I mean, I know with it, I was doing image consulting and whatever, and a whole thing. I like it all, and I like beauty, and I like when people feel beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's something important not only for yourself but for others. Beautiful surroundings, beautiful conversations like we're having. Um, it makes you happy.
It does. It really, really does on many levels.
Mm,
And the blessings and joys in your life are many, aren't they?
yes, they really are. I'm very, very lucky. I really concentrate on that, the blessings, the joys. I mean, everybody has um, things, hurdles in their lives, and things to overcome. But if you have blessings, it kind of evens it out. But sort of the blessings outweigh the problems.
Something we all need to remind ourselves of, right?
Hmm. And I mean, you're lucky. You're lucky when you have people who love you and care about you and root for you. That you're
Mhm.
very fortunate and maybe rare. I don't know, but I've always been. I was raised by parents who believed in sharing
Yeah.
and sharing themselves most of all with others.
Did you live across the street from me? Because that's the same scenario that we had too,
Oh,
and
I
yeah,
think
it's the
so.
same sort of way of thinking, and I don't know, I often say, "I don't know any other way." It's
No,
the way, you know what I
no.
mean?
You can't. I mean, my sister. She cooks for everyone in her apartment building. She doesn't have much, but she's willing to share whatever she has.
We should have
And
done the show there. We could have got a snack.
yeah, yes, whatever you want, she'd be cooking it right now.
She'd be cooking it for us.
Yeah, she's always cooking. And she's all excited about Studio 54, and I am too, it being so close. It's in May. I'm like, wow,
Yes,
May
right. Yeah,
15th. Oh my
54 below, right.
God,
We
no,
actually have,
yeah.
we've got the link there.
Oh,
There is the link, folks, if you want to get tickets to this incredible musical event that's happening. And of course, this is a creation brainstorming here of our very special guest. We're talking about Sammy's Bowery Follies. It's happening in New York City at 54 Below. And like you say, it's coming up really,
really
if somebody,
soon.
yeah, just in a couple of weeks in May. Of course, if somebody's watching this episode a year from now, it's past tense, but still, for those watching live, you can get tickets. They're going fast, but again, it's going to be, what can people expect if people go to this show in New
Oh,
York at the famous
yeah.
54 Below? What
Well,
can they expect?
we're also live streaming.
So go there and learn about the live streaming opportunities too. So if you're
Yes,
watching, because we have an
yes.
international audience, so if you're watching around the country or Canada or elsewhere, you'll be able to, in the comfort of your home.
Yeah, I think they're going to put it up in about a week. I'm not sure.
Cool.
So in about a week, they will be putting up the live stream. But what can they expect? It's Studio 54 Below is a beautiful venue. And what we're going to do is we're going to make Studio 54 Sammy's Bowery Follies. So when you're sitting there and the show begins, we start with Welcome You to Sammy's as our first song. And we want you to feel that you were back in 1945, wherein the show starts, or the time period. And we just want the audience to enjoy and walk away from this show saying that they can sing my songs because the melodies are memorable, and they had a hell of a good time.
Mm-hmm. A New is saying, oh, so it's live stream. Where can we watch online? So that those details are coming, right? If they go to the
Yeah,
54 Below
or below.
website, go to 54 Below, you can find out more about that. They're putting that together now. These are for the tickets, but if you go to 54below.org.org, they'll have some information on the live streaming opportunities coming soon as well, which is great. Putting that all together. Cool stuff, huh?
Yeah, it is so exciting. I mean, I am so thrilled. I've been working with Micah, and we've been having a good time, and all my musicians are in place. I have a drummer and a bass and a clarinet, clarinet. See, I screw up every word. And
Somebody playing clarinet.
he's playing, and Mike is playing the piano. So I have four, and so it should be fascinating. And the cast will be all Broadway, so it should be. We're finalizing that right now, so that's to be announced.
To be announced, so stay tuned, 54below.org to find out more. And this is really cool, and you're working on a lot of other cool things as well. Sharon, I'm so glad that we were able to put this together and get you on and reserve a night for you to come on the Jim Masters Show series in time to be able to talk about Sammy's Bowery Follies, but also not just about the show. As you see, we don't just we don't call these interviews, we call these conversations. Now our viewers get an understanding of the person behind the scenes, what your passions are, who you are, what you're about, what you believe in, life in the suburbs, the missing socks. You are real. just like the rest of us, which is it. You know what I mean? Pinch
Yes.
her and her left hook's going to come. That's it. That's it. Exactly. Just like anybody else. A new. I love that handle on YouTube there. A new. Welcome, A new, and everybody who is new, who's joined us here on the Jim Masters Show. We hope we're here all the time, and we've done, over 900 episodes of our series. You can binge watch all of them with guests from, Broadway, Hollywood, television, film, music, stage, sports, comedy, inspiration, authors, health and wellness people, everything you can think of, child stars, and musicians, singers, actors. So glad that you are here. I know my mom and Broadway generations are dancing in heaven to you. Isn't that beautiful? Thank you for that
Oh,
really
oh,
nice comment, and welcome. Sherry Larson in Kansas, one of our regular lovely viewers, says, thank you, Sharon, for joining us tonight. So happy to hear you're keeping your dad's legacy going. Good luck in all you do in the future. A new says, thank you. Thank you. Jane in Sweden, thank you, Sharon, for being here tonight. Thanks, Jim. A new, thank you again. What a breath of fresh air. Thank
well,
you. That's what we do around here. And having Sharon join us just adds to that breath of fresh air as well. And thank you, Sharon. This was an awesome conversation. Loved it. Heart, heart, heart. Good luck on your show. Our great mutual friend, June Rachelson Aspa. We are long overdue for a chat and chew, June, since she moved to the Baltimore area. So great to see you, Sharon. Love you. Good to see you as well, June. And hopefully we'll be together soon. And Marcel, hello, everyone. Have a good night. See you as well. And also enjoyed every minute. So that's Marielle and then Marcel. Yeah. And great job. Thumbs up from Neil. Yes.
that's my husband, huh?
I know. Oh, really? Neil
Yeah.
is?
Mhm.
He's been a super poster on the show. He's been posting some really cool things. Thanks, Neil. It's good to have you here. Welcome to the Jim Masters Show, Lovely Squad family here. I know Jim, we will. Yes, June and I have known each other for years, and we've had a lot of fun times together. And we got to get together again. Um, that's what makes the life go around, right? Good
Yeah.
times, good people, family, friends, good health, and family came to support. We love that. We hope that you'll join us again on the Jim Masters Show. We've got so many amazing guests that are coming through here, which we absolutely love. And you can check out our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. We would love it if you subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this episode, give it a like. There is a thumbs up button on the YouTube channel, a big thumbs up. Give this episode a like, leave a comment on the actual YouTube channel. If you commented in our chat room, we thank you very much. Now, if you'd like to leave a comment on the YouTube channel, that helps us grow. It helps more people see these episodes. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Doesn't cost anything when you do. You'll be a part of the JMS Lovely Squad, our family here. Click the subscribe button. We appreciate that as well. And we thank everybody who's done that. And this has just been really a blast. I hope you enjoyed the time with me as much as I
I had,
absolutely have
I
with
loved,
you.
I loved it. I love you.
Right back at you, right back at you. And for the folks watching, we just want to let you know on Saturday, we've got Tommy James coming up, rock and roll music legend Tommy James and the Shondells, which is amazing. If you guys love An American Tale, the musical, songwriting duo, Alan Schmuckler, Michael Mahler are going to be here from Chicago and from Minneapolis. They're a powerhouse songwriting duo. And lots more here on the Jim Masters Show. And on this episode, we celebrate Sharon Barnett, revered composer, producer, playwright, lyricist. And thanks for stopping by the Jim Masters Show, my friend. This was really terrific. Hope we get a chance to get together, break bread. That would be
Yes,
fantastic.
love it.
Merlin in Canada says a whole new bunch of lovities. Yeah, we welcome a lot of new lovities here. And June says yes. And we love this. Norm says love too. And please come back. Yes, we will keep the porch light on for Sharon and Bravo. And Dad would be so proud. How
Oh,
beautiful is that, huh? What a way
yeah.
to top it off. What a way to
Yeah.
top it off. My friend, this was a beautiful conversation. And for everybody watching, there is the link for 54 Below to get tickets. And you can go to 54below.org to learn more about the live streaming opportunities if you're watching around the world. And George sends his love with Gracie. And spread the word about our show, Sharon. If you
I
know of other folks you think would like to pop on as guests or what have you,
I
they are
will.
all welcome.
Oh, I have tons.
Oh, we love that. Thank you
Yeah.
again. What a gift. Thank you for being with us. You take care, and I hope the show met whatever expectations it had and you enjoyed the
Yes,
time with me
if
as much as I
you
have with you.
would love for you to be a guest and come to my show.
That'd be fantastic. Absolutely. You
Okay.
are a real pleasure, Sharon, and stop by again, okay?
I will. I will.
All
Thank you.
right. You take
Bye.
care. And
You
thanks
too.
for joining us. It was a real
Oh,
pleasure.
but okay. Bye.
Go make a sandwich now.
Oh, yes, I'm gonna
In the,
have dinner.
a sandwich in the suburbs.
Okay.
Take care. Bye bye. You got to laugh, right? I love when we have levity on this show. That's what we say. This show has a lot of light, love, and levity. Or as I once slipped up and I said light, love, and what did I say? Light and love and levity all together. And I said levity. That's where that word levity came from when I slipped up once and it just came out of the mouth. There again is your link for 54 Below in New York. But again, fear not, if you're not in the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut tri-state area, there will be live streaming opportunities as well. Now, if you're watching this again, well past the date of the show, well, no problem. We hope you enjoyed the episode, and do give us a thumbs up, a like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and peruse some of the other past episodes. The guests we've had that have come through here, Melissa Manchester and Lucy Arnez and Patty Davis, daughter of Ronald Reagan, Nancy Reagan. I mean, we had the great nephew of President William McKinley just on recently. It's extraordinary the breadth of and scope of people we've had on. Frida Payne was just on, legendary music expert and singer and actress was just on the other night, and good variety here on the show. Thank you very much. Great night, XOXOXO from June in Baltimore. And great show. And you are very welcome, Anu, and everybody watching. Again, if you enjoyed the episode, give us a thumbs up on the YouTube channel and subscribe, leave a comment as well. We'll be back tomorrow. Another great guest. We have guests all the time for you here regularly. And we don't say goodbye around here. We say see you later. Ciao, cheers, shalom, sláinte, moi loop, avida zain. Hasta la vista. Take care. Cheerio. Be well. And don't forget to love one another. Don't forget to take care of one another. And don't forget to love yourself. I am your host and producer, Jim Masters, here in JMS Levity Hall. We hope you enjoyed the show. And we hope you'll come back. We'll be here tomorrow. And we're still pumping out all these great episodes for you, hundreds of them, for your enjoyment on the Jim Masters Show. One more time, we thank our very special guest, Sharon Barnett, for joining us from New Rochelle, New York, and Westchester, New York. Cool to have her here. Cool to have you here as well. Yes, time to eat. I agree. And Edward and Sky were on too. Beautiful. This is great. We love all this. Love all this. Toodaloo. Yes, haven't heard that in years. Toodaloo. Yes. Now, be sure and try to find that missing sock in your dryer, folks. That's I love that socks. That's cool because it happens to us all the time. I've got a pile of a little section, where there's just this sock and this one doesn't match. This sock is hoping the other sock is going to appear, and sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. But she gave you some tips. She says, look in the dryer hoses, look in your pockets, look in the sheets, the pillowcases. Sometimes they absorb the socks mysteriously. And sometimes the socks just run away, because if you were on somebody's feet all day, I think you'd run away as well. Cool stuff, my friends. Really enjoyed. Again, some special guests also coming up. We're so excited. And we also have coming up soon, we have Lauren Thoman, writer and author, pop culture enthusiast, author of I'll Stop the World. She's joining us soon. And Stephen Suskin, American theater critic, historian of musical theater, and author, is joining us real soon as well here on the Jim Masters Show series. So that's just a few of the guests, just a few. All right, gang. We love you all. We'll see you again soon. I'll be here, right here, waiting for you on the Jim Masters Show. Thanks for being with us. Take care and be well. Cheers.